Any table. The film that I'm going to show you deals with the abuse of children in the world. There are places in the world, many third world countries, where children are forced to go to work at very young ages. They're not given proper nutrition, water, and working for nothing, and not given, most importantly, the opportunity for an education. There are many ethical questions that are going to be raised during the course of this film. Okay.
She's pretty good.
Throughout time, people have had the choice between compassion or indifference. All of us have the power to shape the world, but we also face difficult problems, challenges that demand our involvement. The threat of chemical, biological, and nuclear weapons, the reality of terrorism, the abuse and exploitation of women and children, the suffering of refugees and political prisoners, injustice, the violation of human rights, crimes against humanity. Confronting these problems can be unnerving. It's so much easier just to ignore them. But if we are to make a better world in this new millennium, it's our responsibility to confront these problems. So when do we start? The time is now. Today, we're going to learn about the exploitation of children and teenagers around the world. Society is supposed to protect children, yet they are often targets of abuse. They are forced to fight in wars, used in pornography, made to work for substandard wages, sometimes even sold into slavery. Let's take a look at 4 examples of the human rights abuses facing children around the world. Here's a question for you to answer. Worldwide, how many children are forced to fight as soldiers? A. 25,500. B. 300,000. C. 1 million. D. Too few to count. Please vote now on the console in front of you. Here's how you voted. According to recent estimates, as many as 300,000 children are being used as soldiers in armed conflicts around the world. Both boys and girls, some as young as 8 years old, are forced to fight. With as many as 70,000 children forcibly recruited, Myanmar is the worst abuser. The situation in Uganda has been particularly chilling. A rebel group calling itself the Lord's Resistance Army, founded by this man, Joseph Kony, has raided villages, kidnapping children, often dragging them away after murdering their parents. The children are then armed and trained to kill. If any of these children escape, the LRA forces other children to track them down and murder them. But there is hope. More than 100 nations signed a UN treaty banning the use of child soldiers, and 3 leaders of armed groups in Central Africa that recruited child soldiers were convicted of war crimes by the International Criminal Court in 2007. The last child slave was finally freed? A. In 1865 at the end of the Civil War. B. In 1945 at the end of World War II. C. In 1989 under the International Declaration on the Rights of the Child. D. Child slavery still exists.